What is up, everyone? Welcome to Mechs on Deck. Today we have a special guest. Mr. Langlandia is joining us in place of Chewwy, who Chewwy's not feeling well. How you doing?
I'm good, man. All things considered,
The world is upside down still.
Yeah, a little bit. I never thought that I would get to say the phrase "weekends are meaningless" when you're unemployed, but I say that a lot. So yeah, Brez and I were chatting, and he was like, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm just hanging out. I'm gonna have to leave here in a couple of minutes." He's like, "Cool. Adulting." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, sorta."
Well, and I saw you in the voice chat with him, and I was like, I wonder if I just pulled him out like mid-sentence.
Yeah, you did. You absolutely did. But it's whatever.
Hey,
he's fine. He's a big kid.
Brez, sure do love you. Zerkowski, how are you doing? Exo Squid, I see you there as well. Yeah, crazy times. Things are looking to be. They were looking to get better, and now they're like going back down. So that's how it goes, I guess. And hopefully,
all of these are modern problems, which is part of why the episode is titled that way, right?
Yeah, so it's definitely part of the reason. We're gonna talk about a couple things today, a couple different little interesting things that Chewwy and myself noticed this past weekend. This past week, I know Chewwy sent me some of his ideas for topics yesterday before he started getting sick. So we're going to go over some stuff, and we'll get into it after we go through our what's on your desk. And I'm interested to see what is on your desk, because you built something pretty freaking awesome this past week.
I have a couple of fun stuff, but I can lift it up. So I have the Iron 165 FE in white, except this gal here, she just got the CRP Arabic on it. And I mean, I'm missing a couple of correct legends, but when that HHKB kit comes in, we'd be all right. So
it looks mighty hot. Let me see that. Let me see the butt. I want to see that booty.
Let's check out the booty. If I can focus ever. No, not gonna happen. Oh, Jesus, almost dropped it. I would have broken my fucking desk. Here, I'm gonna. Ooh, let's see. About a half an inch off the desk.
Good Lord. How did you weigh it? How heavy is it?
Yeah, I have my scale just to double check. It's somewhere back here on my bed desk. Okay, I'll do. Come on. Okay, I'll do pounds and ounces. I forget what it is. Fully built with caps, 8 pounds 4 ounces.
That's pretty heavy.
For 65.
It's pretty up there.
Good. It's my guest bed, Zerkowski. Okay, it's my guest bed.
I like how it was under the pillow, like you're trying to hide it from your kids.
No, I just flipped. I don't know. I just moved it. It just happens. And then for people not using freedom units, that's 3739 in grams, 3741 in grams. It adjusted. So I just love chopping it. It's so fucking hilarious.
I just love dropping it. Said no one ever. A keyboard that would probably, I don't even want to know how much the aftermarket FEs would sell for. That would be.
I do know a certain individual received a bid, an offer for $2,300 for one, but did not accept it. So
that's less than I thought, honestly.
Well, that was also several weeks ago. So
true. What is up, Olinsky? As far as for me, what I have on my desk, I'm still rocking this obliterated 75.
Nice.
I'm actually quite enjoying this. The board, the switches could be a little bit heavier. They're very light. Red inks, 55 grams. They are very light, but I do love the fact that it has a left SB, which is nice because I play with my keyboard in like this sort of an angle when I play video games. So
such an interesting fellow. You know that?
yeah, well,
Totally turn it completely. Like, yeah,
almost. I like to have my elbow on the desk. Dude, I'm weird. I have
sniping you.
so like it's funny when the first time I went over to
Sniping you.
when we did the first 24-hour stream and I went over to Chewwy's house. He was like, "Did you break your chair? Like why doesn't your chair have a right armrest?" It's cuz I took it off.
Yeah.
I took it off. I
Oh
don't
my
need
God.
it. So
You're
I
s-
still
you're
I
so
still have the
ridiculous.
left one cuz when I'm like sitting down, I like to rest my left elbow on the armrest, but my
Mm.
right one, I don't need it, so I took it off. So it's not there.
Make my heart happy sometimes. You know that?
You know, it's a little bit weird, but
You know what else makes your heart happy? Sponsors.
sponsors.
Goods and services. Goods and services that help support this show. Is
Absolutely.
that a segue? Is that a helpful segue?
It is a helpful segue. And Zerkowski, I am 27 years old.
I'm the old balls here. I'm 33, so I maybe could be your dad in a different life.
That would be a very impressive. Put you at like 6 years old.
Yeah, he's 15. I definitely
Oh,
could
Zerkowski.
be his dad.
I thought you were talking about me. I was like, it's a little bit of a stretch. But no, we do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. You can go to switchmod.net/mexondeck. Get 4% off everything they've got in stock over there. They are still running some lube that will be ending shortly. You can go to mexondeck.dixiemech.com, pick up GMK Modern Dolch 2, running until the end of the month. Set is doing extremely well. So definitely check that out. And then mexondeck.project.link will be running the Elongate. I think that's how you say it. It's like a nice little 45% board that is running over there this Thursday. So that will probably be going pretty quick. And then they did announce today they're running GMK Sumi, I believe is what the name of it is, starting July 15th. And then Canon Keys, you can go to canonkeys.com/mexondeck. Pick up Cat Explosion. Set is doing very well. Set is doing
Yeah, I
very,
did
very
MOQ
well.
on like day one.
Yeah. I was looking at, so part of what we're talking about today is some of the sets aren't doing as well as maybe was anticipated, especially this month. And I was looking at all of the different graphs that they do for them. And the Cat Explosion one, I was like, I'm not even going to try. It says a hit MOQ because there's like 35 kits on the
Mm-hmm.
on the graph. It is a very intense graph. But
I'm trying to find the most recent numbers for Modern Dolts just because. Oh, there we go.
it might.
Just as of Saturday, I have numbers.
Yeah, what is it at right now? It might be. It was at 1,500 last week.
So as of Saturday, the standard TKL base kit that they're doing is over 2,000.
Yep.
So
It's doing well.
Yeah, doing okay.
And that's without extras. So one would assume that it would be pretty high. I would be surprised if that set doesn't get to 3K. Sitting here with a week left.
Oh yeah, you always see a spike towards the end, and then when you talk extras, like who would have thought if you told me in October when that had closed, or in November, I guess, since we had final numbers for Dracula, then if you had said that Dixie would have another set within, say, 12 months that did over 2K or 3K naturally, I'd be like, I mean, I could see it, but I'd be surprised. Of course he does. Like, of course he does.
Yeah. And it's just like,
I mean, good for them, man. Can't even be mad.
Yeah, Dixie's been going crazy with it. Like all the caps that he does. I think he'd said he'd hit 1,000 on like every GMK set from like Mizu to Terra.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. But that does kind of go into our first topic, which is what we're talking about. Some of the GMK sets that are running right now, they're not doing awful, but they're not doing as well as what we've seen in the past. Mm-hmm. You know, you look at a month like October, you ran Cafe, which did over 1,000 base kits, while having Dracula be over 3,000. We're not really seeing that this month. We're seeing a whole bunch of sets that are still going to get made, but are currently, with about a week left, in that sub 200 range, some up to maybe like the low 300s, which is interesting. And it brings up the question, is that because of what's happening with the world in like the kind of recession that's happening? In a sense, a lot of people are unemployed, like these two guys here.
Yeah,
a
like
lot
me.
of
Like you.
a lot of people are maybe struggling. They're not spending money on things that are a little bit more frivolous, like keycaps. But
No, I think it's a combination of things. So number one, you've got a saturation of the market of GMK, right?
Mhm.
So to the point that now, and I know that Bryant Quakeham's Top Clack is with this. He's like, there's only so many fucking colors that you can do, right? So at a certain point, when you start running a bunch of reruns, you've got tons of white and black sets now. I mean, Cafe obviously is a great example of that. And so you just, sorry, I can't not meme about black and white sets and Cafe. So you've got that, number one. It's widely available. So why group buy when I have to wait 12 months for it? But then you have the emergence of Cat, right? Cat's like super hugely popular right now as well. And then you combine that with the fact that there's, newer people into the hobby. Like, we continue to grow as a hobby. So, there's probably a desire for more affordable entry level keycaps, which is why you're probably seeing, to be candid, tie how caps selling pretty well. I don't think it's a shrinking of the hobby necessarily. I just think it's a shifting of what people are looking for. Aftermarket sets are still selling crazy high, right? So I don't think it's a lack of money. Also, with the emergence of more and more people in the hobby, you also have a desire for more keyboards. So maybe you also are not selling as many GMK sets because, per person there's less boards to go around in terms of the high end group buy boards, but also because they're saying I'm going to spend more to get the board I want and buy less keycaps to put on it in exchange for that. Because, I saw, and no shade to anyone. Like, if you've got the money and you want to do it, good for you. But, I own an Austin. I saw someone post to buy one for $1,200 the other day. I love that keyboard. I do not think it's a $1,200 keyboard. I don't think the Iron SE is a $1,200 keyboard. Like, these are my opinions. But if somebody's going to pay it, I mean, maybe I'll sell it to you. But
yeah, that's one of the things I've thought about.
I don't have a job right
weeks.
now. If somebody wants to pay $1,200 for it, I'm probably going to take it. Like,
well, and it's like that's the internal struggle of like, is it worth? Like, I don't want to lose this. Like, I really love this board. I really love this keycap set, but is it worth the amount of money that someone is willing to pay? And people are regularly paying for these keycap sets and these boards. It is interesting.
What do you think? Where do you think why do you think the numbers are lower, personally?
Well, obviously, we just talked about how Modern Dolch is sucking up a lot. I think if you don't have that set running this month, I think it spreads out a little bit more. And I think because we are 3 months removed from basically the start of the lockdown, so people are like, I know even personally, I'm looking at my funds and I'm like, okay, well, if I don't have a job come August 1st, my income drastically gets reduced because of the way that the unemployment assistance works. And I think there's probably a lot of people who are in that same position. They were making more money by being unemployed than they were before. And they were able to spend a lot of money maybe in, April, May, and now they're kind of tightening the belt a little bit. But I think there's a lot of people who are looking at sets like Cat. There are other sets, the Infinity sets, and maybe they've purchased some of those instead at a lower price than these GMK sets. Because when you look at it, even even like Alex Oto's set, the Infinity Aether, it's not doing amazing for a set. It's only at 238 kits sold, which would still technically be under a GMK MOQ, but it's
Mhm.
over. So it's going to get
Yeah.
made no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's $100 for a base kit that would realistically in GMK cost probably like 140, 150 maybe. So there's a lot more. It's one of those things I think people may be shifting to more value. Maybe instead of people buying 3 sets, they're buying 1 or 2.
Or spending more on that one, instead of the total overall, right?
Yeah.
Is there a sales for something like a Nord? Do we have sales numbers for that?
GMK
Oh,
Nord.
okay.
Yeah, it's kind of in the 300 range.
A couple weeks ago, 300, a couple weeks ago. So I mean, I'm interested. I'm looking now at some of these, and also you've got Midnight Rainbow that's not doing poorly either. You also have multiple EPBT choices, and I know, at least from my experience with Cafe, the request for PBT is high.
Yeah.
Like it is a very desirable thing. So to have two PBT sets in 1 month, I think that, well, 3 actually, and then I'm not including Cat and Cam, guys. Don't yell at me. I think that that's also taking some of those GMK numbers, right? So
Exactly.
so many people, like, I mean, I'm this way, and I'm lucky enough to be privileged. I buy a set a month. That's about my, well, not right now, but that's about my rhythm is a set a month. I of someone else's I purchase. Um, and if it's going to be PBT this month, that's where the money goes. So I don't know. I think it's kind of a little bit of everything,
I think
to
it's
be totally honest.
And I think it's more of like we're also seeing a little bit of a stabilization, right? Like it seems like these sets are going the way that they were just before everything kind of exploded, like in around maybe even around this time last year. It's
Mhm.
just we're like I feel like all these sets will hit MOQ, and almost all of them have. And if they're close, they've already been saying, "Hey, it's going to get made." The thing that I worry about is some of the child kits. Like you look at like a set like GMK Nord where the numpad is split. It's only sold
Mhm.
14 right now. Now this is from June 14th, so let's take that with a grain
Yeah.
of salt. But even then, I don't know how much higher that's going to go. So like sets like that where it's split numpad, it's going to be rough if we get into a situation where it keeps happening where the base does well enough to get made, but then everything else doesn't. That's what I'm fearful for.
Mhm.
But
Zurkowski, you absolutely should flip your spacebar.
yeah, come on, man.
Flip it.
But and it one thing I noticed on Boneyard, that's getting its MOQ is 500 or was it? They already said it's going to get made. It's only at 170 as of Friday, but the novelties, excuse me, are at 146.
Really?
Yeah, which is crazy. But I think that that's a special case because that set is probably getting carried by a lot of people who have the maybe they have OG Boneyard from Carbon.
Look, it's a damn good set. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're, and I think we talked about this on Top Clack, but like, obviously Nines exists to mimic Boneyard for people that couldn't have it. So I wonder, with there still being pre-sale for Nines round 2 and Nines being super popular the first round and people having that set now, if that's not what's kind of, taking the knees out of this set here.
Yeah, exactly. And I do kind of wonder because I was of the camp that said that they should keep it R0 R5, and they should have run it.
Quick hot take. Completely agree.
I just think it would have done a better. It would have separated it from Nines a little bit more, in my opinion, and I think it would have helped the base maybe grow a little bit because that'd be another way to kind of sell it. Right? It's a niche thing that not a lot of kits do. We don't see very many GMK sets run in R0, R5. We do see some run in R5, but not the R0.
Yeah, the R0 is the thing that's still really rare.
Yeah. So, but I think it's more that the community is maybe kind of shifting a little bit. People are looking for more value with all these cam cat sets. I mean, there's the cat blanks set that's running like this week.
That's cool.
$45. Like,
Yep.
come on.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's going to be 2022 before you get the damn thing, but it's good value. So
I mean, they do say you should get it in like
they
October.
say January 2021, okay? Yeah. Right? Or whatever the hell their estimation was.
Yeah. But it is interesting. I don't know if it's necessarily due to everything that's happening. I think maybe a little bit of it is, but I think it's more of like the perfect storm of people. We've been in like a year and a half, 2 years of like GMK dominance, and I think people maybe are getting a little bit tired of it. They want to try something new.
Of everything. Right. Yeah. I would be really interested if there was good visibility to see what happened when SA fell out of favor and GMK became the new one. Like, was there this, did it go from feast to famine on sales like this as well? And then just the rise of GMK? I don't know. I'm sure that we could talk it into death craft, for sure.
Yeah. Like, well, it is interesting too, because I know one of the reasons why SA fell off a lot was because SA lead times were getting crazier and crazier. It was getting to 13, 14 month lead times. GMK? That's happening with GMK. So it is interesting. Although Cat doesn't really have that much of a lower lead time. Infinity is really the only one that has a really low lead time at this point.
We already have a full prototype of 808 Boom and it hasn't even fucking run. Like, that's crazy. They're super quick. So, I mean, I don't know. As more and more manufacturers kind of crop up, I would like to see more to help spread that out. But I don't know how much it's going to help. Just because if the community continues to grow, more manufacturers doesn't necessarily mean shorter lead times. If the demand for purchasing keycaps goes higher.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and it is interesting. Like someone was Axot in chat was saying 2-month lead time on Aether versus 1 year for GMK. That's huge. And especially it's like
you guys want leaks. They're making grain right now. They're making it right now.
You stack,
I haven't said we approved colors. We did. So leaks.
But it's crazy. You stack the low lead time on top of Starstone. Thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate it. But you stack that low lead time on top of your already lower price. It's just going to make it to where like Infinity, if they can just iron out everything that they had. I know they had some issues with Katakana having warped space bars, Legends being weird. It sounds like they've already fixed that. A lot of people are really happy with their bread sets.
Well, yeah, and even something like bread. So I've had multiple iterations of Infinity now, and it's crazy how much better they are. Even with, I was looking at my spacebar for bread, and I was talking to Rise, and I was like, "There's a little warping here. Like you can see it pretty clearly on the longer ones." And he's like, "Even that is no longer acceptable. Like they're buying extra space and increasing the amount of QC that they do for them to make them straighter." So it's like, I mean, they're trying to make it the go-to versus GMK, I think, is what it seems like. So we'll see.
Which is nice. I mean,
yeah,
it's something we've needed for a while, like something that's lower cost, and one would assume if they get even, with what happened with GMK, right? Like it got bigger in the community, prices for sets went down. I can't imagine what if the prices of Infinity already being as low as they are, if they started to go down even more, or they just do like, hey, instead of it being $125 for the mega kit, it's now $100, and then it's like
for everything
you just get the entire. You never need to worry about, is this compatible?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas GMK,
and it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to swallow full compatibility at $100.
Yeah,
for every board than it is to say, oh, I can cover most layouts for 110.
Yeah.
right? So
Well, and then you run into the issue like I've had with minimal, where I'm like, man, this would look great on this board, and then I'm like, oh wait, I don't have the numpad,
mm-hmm.
or I
Yep.
don't have split space bars,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't really care about having shifts there, but for
Yeah,
the
I've never
aesthetics,
cared about that. Like,
for the pictures though, for the pictures.
for the pictures. Speaking of pictures, there are some keyboards that take really good pictures or photograph very well, which maybe would lead us to our second topic.
I think it would. I think it would, and there are some boards that we've talked about, and I think we've talked about this topic the last couple weeks in terms of how the Iron 165 and boards like the Bauer are going for insane prices on the aftermarket. But one of the pieces that we haven't really talked about is how this establishes those two companies in terms of Dixie Mac from a keyboard vendor and Smith and Rune, how this establishes them as a brand. Obviously the Iron 180 is just around the corner. Dixie has been very open that he is basically doing an entire line of Bauers. He's teased the Bauer 75 on our show and on our Discord.
Is it called the Bauer? I thought it was going to be named something different. Or is he keeping that brand line?
I don't know for sure. I think he's keeping it as like Bauer number.
Oh, okay. Yeah, still Bauer. Got it. Okay.
So it's just like Iron 165, I'm sure 180, 175, 160, I guess at some point.
I don't know if I'd see a 60 anytime too soon.
No, probably not.
I don't think that there's much love for 60s in their camp. So, just to be totally blunt.
Chewy's going to be waiting for a while. Maybe on a different line.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
But it's one of those things. How is this going to affect them as a brand? Are they going to be, because one of the first things I said when I started seeing the Irons and the Bauers sell for insane aftermarket prices, it's like, this is going to make these brands be held in a higher regard from the community because they are great boards. Are they going to get to the point where they can be a key cult level in terms of regard for the community? Because I think key cult is very obviously
someone traded an SE, the standard edition Iron, for a TGR, like just a trade. Like,
it's like, hey, here you go.
I mean, absolutely, it elevates them to that level. When you say this is a 1-to-1 comparison, yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, and I, to be candid, I haven't been following like what Bauer aftermarket is, but I'm sure it's fucking crazy. Like the auction, didn't someone pay $2,000 for the pink one or $2,800 or something? Like,
yeah, I think something crazy. And then a cyan aluminum one sold for $1,850, and it had it was all chipped up.
Yeah, I mean, they out there getting it right now. Like, that's for sure.
And
that's a good question. Do they want to be them? I can speak on behalf of the Smith and Rune guys. If they can be in the same conversation as key cults and TGRs and all of the like, absolutely they want to be there. Which is why they obsessed so much over their first board. And they wanted to make sure fulfillment of all of that was finished before they even moved on officially to 180. So like, they're still wrapping up 165 to make sure everyone's happy. So, and it's group buy, so not everything's perfect, but I can't remember the last time Key Cult didn't sell B stock. So, like things happen. So,
I can't imagine a world where either of them would not want to be held in that regard. Like, everyone is lining up to sign up for the Key Cult raffles. Their boards always sell out. There's never any, I mean, I can't remember, other than issues with the very first run of Key Cults, like before it was even an established thing, there hasn't been any issues. Everyone should want to be that level of professionalism and quality
Mhm.
I think you would be crazy to say, "Oh, I don't want to be like that." Now, I could say
Well,
maybe aspects of it, but I think
so
there's a lot that they do that.
I think it's important to understand who they want to be, though. I think
True.
it's a good question from the standpoint of, you know, does like if I'm yeah, I think it's a different question for Smith and Rune than it is for Dixie,
Right.
because Dixie obviously has a more diversified business. Where if I'm Smith and Rune, I obviously want to be known with the top of the top, and likely Dixie does as well. But that's not to say that there isn't a very specific niche market for like the brutal line of keyboards from Canon Keys. Like Andrew knows that's he's not selling a key cult level
Langelandia is my
product. Like
hero.
that's a very intentional choice to sell in that line of keyboards something more affordable, that's more available, that's in stock. You can have it soon. You don't have to wait. As opposed to Chimera, which is definitely a much, much, much higher quality board. So, KBD fans, we've got people that are brand new to the community in the chat right now. They don't want to spend $895 on a board right out the gate. And maybe they do, and if they can afford it, good for you. But most times we're going to go to an An Pro, we're going to build a 5 degree, we're going to look at a brutal 60. Like that's our entry level. So I think both need to be there. So I think it's a good question. But for these two specific makers and vendors, I suspect that they would like to be the Tiffany of
Yeah.
keyboards, right?
Yeah,
So
and I think we need more brands up there at that level, because I think it's one of those things, as that happens, it kind of shifts. We've seen it happen before. As the quality gets better, everyone that's under them has to keep up to try to bring more value to their products. Also, shout out to Japanese Horror Rider for the 1,000 bits and Rick for the 500.
Thank you, friend.
Yeah, and then J-Shuff just brought up the fact that there was 45 slots for the Heine TKL this past weekend. 870 entries, 869 entries.
That's crazy. I mean, it's going to be a hell of a good board.
Yeah.
He did multiple rounds of protos to make sure it didn't, screw up. Which is, Heine. If Heine continues to do that and continues to deliver at that level, I don't see any reason why his boards couldn't be in that same realm. You're getting a damn good PCB when you buy a Heine board. That's number one, So, now it's just design and finish, and people like the design. I've heard zero issues with HBCP personally. So, I mean, high-end boards, it's where everyone's trying to be right now. And to be candid, there's a shit ton of money to be made there, because if somebody's selling a board for $500 that people will pay $1,500 for aftermarket, honestly, if they run it again and they say it's $700 board now, I'd be like, okay, cool. Like, that's what you pay, because they're making money, like.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It establishes you as a brand. Like when things go crazy aftermarket, it makes it to where it gets even better on the like it gets better the next time. Like look at the Austin, right? The round one, it was up for like an hour, I think, or something like that for Drifting Bunnies. The second one, V2, had more slots and sold out in like 15 minutes. I don't even think it made 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was super fast. No. It was really, really fast.
So, not Geo, thank you for the tier 1 sub for 11 months. Appreciate it.
Hi, Geo. I'm sorry. Hi, not Geo.
Not Geo. He's big Geo. Then little Geo is is Geo M.
Yes.
And there is, like Axot says, there's a huge demand for boards in general. I think it's awesome. We're seeing a lot of these boards that are at the higher end, but then we're also simultaneously seeing boards that are like insane value.
Yeah, and you've got more and more makers out there that are cutting acrylic, or that are doing polycarb kind of stuff, like layered acrylic, different options for different sound types and cost levels. I only think that that's good for the community, to be candid. So, in a weird roundabout way, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of flipping, but again, if somebody DMs me and says, "I'll give you $1,200 for your Austin," and that check clears, I'm not going to lose any sleep tonight. But what that does is not only establishes the designer as a brand, and good for you, you spend your money however you want, man. Like I'm more power to you. But it also tells people that there is that super high demand, and it does open up the channels for more people to think about what can I do in terms of more affordability, right? Like I want that $1,200 board. I can't buy that $1,200 board because there's never going to be one made again, and nobody's selling theirs for less than $1,200. So what can I do to get one like it, right? And then you've got people that learn how to design, and then learn how, learn CAD and 3D modeling and do prototypes. And now you've got, I mean, that's where Smith and Rune came from. They said, I want this board done this way. No one's making it. Well, screw it. We're going to fucking make it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you.
Absolutely. And I think the reason why there's things that are going crazy, and I've had this thought for the last couple months, is because the community exploded at the beginning of last year. It felt like it just kind of went crazy. Dclutch 04, thank you for the tier 1. Because it kind of exploded there. I wonder how many of these people are people who have been in the community for about a year. They've kind of established their own personal preferences and what they like, the boards that they're looking for, and now they're trying to build up a collection. Because I think for a lot of people, when you first start out, at least for me personally, and I've had the conversation with a lot of people, it took them about a year before they really started discovering what they really liked, and then they started investing in things because they know, okay, I see this, I like that, right? And I think I know for both of us, probably, we can look at an interest check, we can look at a group buy page and know, I'm going to like this board without even having to type on it. And
if it gets delivered, which is our next topic, but I'll go there later.
Segues are great.
Well, I try, man. I try. No, I think that's a really interesting point. I was thinking about keycap sales in general, and then also keyboards too, about, also a lot of people do something that I try to do, is where you've got sunk money into something, right? So, I have a rule where I don't spend more than what I bought it for if I can help it, right? Like, or don't sell it for more than what I bought it for if I can help that. Now, if it's a sexy offer, again, I absolutely will sell the Austin for $1,200. Anyways, for sale. No, so, but certain people, you'll buy a $200 board, someone will buy it for $300, and then you'll have an additional $100 in your PayPal account that you have designated your keyboard account. Well, now I can buy this $300 thing or $250 things that maybe both of those I end up eventually selling for $50 profit each, right? So now I'm at $400. And eventually I get to this fund where I've gone through things that I liked, but didn't need to survive and I could live without, to get to that grail that I wanted. And that's, I'm saying, I have this much money that I've accrued based on X, Y, or Z, and I'm going to dump that into the thing I've always wanted, or the thing that has me so excited I can't sleep at night. And maybe that's an Iron 165. Maybe that's a Jane B2 CE that you buy for $3,000, whatever it is. I think that's what we're seeing too, is that, the community is old enough now, and people have made enough money now, and they've sold off, entire collections for this one thing sometimes. I think that's part of where the money is going back into these high dollar amount items.
And I wonder how many people
hydrate. I should hydrate.
I wonder how many people are selling these boards for crazy, flip amounts. How many of those people are just reinvesting it into something else? How many people that bought an Iron 165 and sold it for $1,300 got in on a Heine TKL or the Keycolt #1,
and then they still have $800 to play with,
and they're buying 4 keycap sets, and now they're like, a year from now they could do the same thing. I mean, I've told this story before. When about 2 years ago now, I was looking at keycap sets and I was like, I could realistically buy a keycap set every month, because that was when it was really only 1 or 2 sets a month. I was like, I could buy everything, and if I just don't like it when I get it, sell it and get my money back. And then just,
do you remember when it was just
going?
Okay, everybody, we're running this month. Somebody please buy it so that we can maybe get it made.
And when it gets to 500, people are like, oh my gosh,
best selling set ever. Like, when people, I love, like, GMK Valentine 2018 is a set that I own, and it's gaudy and it's pink and it's just all kinds of wonderful, and I love it. And the question that that I get is, how did that get made? Because it was the only fucking thing that ran. And it was like, all right, I guess I want it. I'm going to buy it. So this is how it got made. Like,
Yeah,
I have a feeling Enderbite would have done better in the before time
probably.
than it did in the busy time, right?
Yeah, it probably would, because people wouldn't have had to have been like, they wouldn't have had options. It would have been like, well, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the set for this month.
I guess, you know what? Actually, it's not that bad. Now that I think about it, because they would have kept going back to the page, right?
Yeah.
They do what I do, and I talk myself into it. I do want this. There's that SA set that's out there that I think I'll end up probably buying into. I'm trying to find a name really quickly, scrolling through all the GMK in the world. There's so many. The 8010, SA 8010.
Oh yeah.
That one I've convinced myself that I need, that I like it. So I linked it in chat.
That's the like crazy looking, like almost Space Cadet.
Yeah, it's based
styling.
on this keyboard, the Decision Data 8010 key punch keyboard. It's very cool.
That's the one with like the 11U spacebar.
Yeah.
I want
I think
an
it's cool.
11U spacebar. That happened.
Well, if only. You need to find me a stabilizer first.
True. But speaking of making things happen, quite a few people put their money together, and they thought they made something happen about 2 years ago, and it has still not happened. And that is not the Lumina, as people have asked. D-Decline.
The Lumina predates this, if I remember correctly.
I think it actually is after. I think this is before Lumina.
Oh, it is.
I think
Lumina
this is
was
before
August. Lumina. Modern, group by terms. So maybe the interest checks are flopped, but the modern was July 1st is when that thread went up.
Modern M0110 is about to hit its second birthday of not being delivered. It's a board that there's been a lot. So just a quick kind of history of this board. It is supposed to be just like the old Apple keyboard. It's a cool looking HHKB style, huge bezels. It actually looked great for the time, especially in 2018. Their packaging that they were going to do was great. It was very well put together. There were some prototypes that went out to streamers and stuff. I know Chewwy did a video on it back when he was on Top Clack. That's how long ago this was. But it looked good, and it was supposed to be delivered around Thanksgiving of 2018. That week, he came out and said, hey, it's not going to be delivered, and I don't know when it's going to be delivered. So then things just continually got pushed back. There was an issue probably about 6 months ago where some got delivered, and there was a rose gold that was very much not rose gold. And they've continued to have some significant issues with their anodizing, Cerakote, basically everything.
I don't know. Like, somebody got theirs in May, it looks like. One person did and posted a picture. But, as recently as the 2nd, we had an update from Desk Candy.
Yeah, we've got.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to read up so that I can. Yeah. Okay, so 19th was the last update from them.
Yeah. So they've currently. It sounds like things are moving forward. He had issues with the engraver, but it looks like, I guess that's more or less fixed. Now he's really struggling with his anodizer and his Cerakote options.
Yes.
Which, to me, the fact that you're 2 years removed from this group buy, these people who have got their money sunk into this are really kind of left without any options at this point. Like 2 years is so far away that you can't really do anything from a standpoint of like your money's gone. So you're just kind of sitting there hoping that that it gets sent
Well,
to you.
my question to, and look, I'm not gonna rail on them for, whether it's negligence or just Murphy's Law. Literally everything has gone wrong with the entire thing. The question that I want to know is, I was under the impression that the anodizing or Cerakote, those, because you had two options, right? Anodized or Cerakoted. Um, if they continue to give you what I would deem as, and they have deemed as, unacceptable product, and this is the same place that you keep going to, what is physically stopping you from going to someone else? Because this, like, the level of anxiety that you must carry from not delivering this for 2 years has got to be immense. Like, at some point, you have to end. I would assume that at some point you say, I'm done with this. We're going somewhere else. You guys fucking suck. I want my money back. Nothing you said you would deliver, you delivered. We're going somewhere else. And I don't know what is stopping them from doing that. Um, and yes, he did ship a few recently, so I know that they're continuing to work on it. So credit to them for not just saying fuck all, because 2 years ago you could just disappear and keep the money.
Yeah.
To be candid, so good for them. Like, I'm not trying to hate on them, and I know that um, it's not just Desk Candy. Obviously, Janglad, he was a huge part of this project too, and from working with him before, I know he's a stand up dude. So I don't think that they're going to quit on it. But my question is, how much longer are you going to continue to work with a place that continues to fuck everything up?
Yeah.
Right?
How is it acceptable? Because on the 19th, so Friday, he says he's had 2 complete batches of light sand Cerakote, one color, right? Like one color that were 100% failure rate in QC. How do you not just go, hey, fuck it, I'm done? Like, do these, it makes me wonder, like, is there some sort of trade-off in money? Like I don't know. I don't understand exactly what you said. I don't understand why he's not just taking his stuff and going somewhere else, because it's not like he's in an area that you can't do that. He's in LA, at least according to his Geek Hack profile. He's in LA. There's
and
gotta be other
that
options.
was a big selling point for it too, was that it was going to be produced and made in LA, right? Like that
Mhm.
that was, it's stateside. We're doing everything here. It's super cool. We don't have to send it over to China to have it done. That's was part of the price tag too. I don't know. I just feel bad for it. And I don't know. Do we have visibility to how many aren't delivered? Because I know that they've been shipping out a few at a time. There were prototypes. Some people got theirs and maybe kept them, even though there was issues with them. How many people are still waiting on boards? I just don't know. To be direct, I don't know. So my issue is that it can't be awesome to be John, this Desk Candy gentleman who continues to have trouble. It can't be awesome, because I'm sure the fact that he continues to update even now after all this time tells me he gives a crap. So emotionally, it's got to suck to continue to do this. And maybe there's some contract that I don't know about, but like, in being unable to just give him the bird with both hands and walk away from the person that has 100% failure rate. I mean,
Yeah, it's got to be rough, because it does say a lot to John's support of this and follow through, because as you said, he very easily, especially now, very easily could have just been like, I'm gonna ghost everyone. Like,
yeah,
he could have just said, I'm gonna ghost everyone, or he could just say, screw it, I'm gonna ship these bad boards out to people. There's nothing they can do at this point. I'm hoping that things get better. I wish, like you said, he could just take it somewhere else, just get it finished.
Yeah.
Like
I trust that they will deliver.
Yeah.
Okay. I just hope it's not year 3, right? So, they seem to have been very communicative about everything. There's 12 pages in this thread of updates and questions and telling them what the issue is. So I'm sure that they're going to deliver at some point. A la Southpaw, right? Like, at some point it's going to get here. We just have no fucking idea when. So I mean, and I hope that people are super happy with it. It's a good board. From all I can tell, I'd be excited to have one myself. But I mean, 2 years. I mean, people have children older or younger than that. Like people have had children, 2 children in the timeline since when they ordered this. I promise. Like, like,
well, and it's the thing that we've talked about before of like a 2018 board in no way stacks up to a 2020 board or even a late 2019 board. Like we've come so far in that 2 years. I mean, hell, you look back at something like an M65 versus the, like a Bauer or a Iron 165. They're not even in the same ballpark. And so that's the one thing that is disappointing. These people spent their money 2 years ago. They're going to get a board that they may kind of enjoy, but they're going to be like, it's always going to be in the back of their mind. I spent all this money for this. I waited forever and I never got it. Or I never, it wasn't as good as it was meant to be. I know people a lot of times they buy a key set right after they buy a board because they want to make it match.
Mm-hmm.
In what world do you have a key set for a year and a half?
I can't tell you the number of times that I have bought things to match and then gotten one super fast and waited on the other and sold that thing. Like, all right, I'm not fucking waiting anymore. Like, get out of here. So
yeah, hopefully it does ship soon. I know he says that he's planning to ship out a lot of the grays, which is Chewwy actually purchased this board. I think this was actually his first group buy board.
I avoided the Lumina to buy into Doro 67, so neither of us have had good initial group buy experience.
I think my first group buy board was the Lumina as well, and that one's just
God.
Off
We've
the
made
rails.
Bad choices. Your money is gone. God,
Yeah.
let's just fully admit that your money is fucking gone. Dude.
Oh, I admitted that to myself like a year ago. And
sorry.
People who still get like upset, I'm like, dude, at this point, it's just like it's over. It's gone.
No one's getting that board. I'm sorry. No one. Unless you already have it.
Nope. Yeah, Lumina's done. Lumina can't even get their material back.
Yeah, how much was the M0110?
Trying to look. I think it wasn't insanely high. I want to say it was in the 300 range. Any MXSS avail? That's a board a lot of people don't know about that was trying to do the purple polycarb like before everyone else. And that board looked awesome, but did not, I don't think they've ever really shipped it. Which sucks because that board did look cool, but there was like super bad warping issues with it, and then it just kind of like fell off whenever.
I think that's the next thing that I need to make happen is purple polycarb. Yeah. I don't have one. I'd like to make that happen.
There you go. Yeah, I can't find a price. I think it was in the mid 300s.
Yeah, which in 2018 was still really expensive.
Yeah,
like. For the most part, it was top of the range, right? So, yep, that's another one. Any F8 keys? Any F8 keys avail?
Yeah, no one's getting their F8 key. Well, what is it? I can't remember who's doing they're trying to do the hyperfuse.
Yep.
Wilba. That's right. F8 is restored.
Mm-hmm.
Shout outs to Wilba for that. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I think I want to get on that just for the memes. Although Cat Hyperfuse is supposed to run next month.
Yeah.
Which is
Cat Hyperfuse doesn't help you with the missing F8. Like,
yeah, luckily I have Origins, which has all the F8 keys. Or the one F8 key. Yeah. I'm good, so.
Dude, you know what's my luck is Cafe is going to come and a fucking key is going to be missing or something on like 1,000 people's boards. And it's going to want to die.
Or it's like just yours, like just the one that you decide to keep.
Yeah. Oh. God, that would be my luck. No, I think I have 6 coming. So they're all already spoken for, though. I'm only keeping 1.
Ooh.
Because that's me. I only keep 1.
You're not like, I can't remember who it was. I think Olivia said she had like 8 sets of Olivia.
Yeah, I mean, I ordered a bunch, and then I just decided, I'm like, I'm going to give this one out. I'm going to send this one here. I'm going to do that, all that kind of shit. So,
well, and what's crazy is when you think about that, you said you took 6 cafes. That's only out of 1,000. That's not very much, but 8 kits of Olivia out of the like 400 it sold initially.
She bought in, man.
It's a fairly high percentage, but
yeah.
No, that kind of does it for our topics today. Is there any any questions in chat? I know we're going to open it up. We're going to do our keyboard of the week.
Oh yeah.
So
do you have audio for that?
I don't. I didn't set it up. I'm sorry. I'm actually
damn it.
So I'm making, like, you know how I made the like starting soon and be right back screens? I'm going to make like a keyboard of the week, like little intro deal. So we're going to start our keyboard of the week. So if you would like to be considered for that, please put the pictures of your keyboards in our Discord under the keyboard pictures channel. We're going to leave that open for a little bit. I'm going to get to your question. I'm still in the middle of talking about something, Zerkowski. We're going to leave that open for a bit, get all your pictures in there, and we'll go through them, and we'll pick some options.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll let y'all decide who gets it for the week. All right.
I guess we have a special guest.
What?
We have a special guest. No?
Came on before.
Are you going to say hello? Say hi. Wave.
Hi, bud.
Hey. Go lay down. Supposed to be in bed. Well, then go get a drink and lay down. Go on.
Dadlandia.
Go on. Love you. We're back.
We're back. All right. So, Zerkowski.
Welcome to Keyboard of the Week. Brought to you by Mex on Deck.
Zerkowski.
Langlandia.
Ooh, I like that one.
That's good. That's good. That's a good one. Dadlandia.
To answer your question, how would I touch up a spacebar stab wire? I mean, I just kind of like, I put lube in there until it's good. That's kind of how I go.
So one thing a lot of people don't necessarily explicitly state is when you lube your stabilizers, obviously you're lubing the slider area, the wire, and all that. If you are having some stab rattle and you've already done all that, pop the spacebar off, and on the back of the actual stabilizer, if you lift it up in the back where the wire ends, if you can lube in there, that will help with the rattle as well. Because a lot of times people don't talk about putting excess lube in there to stop that. That's where you're probably hearing some of the sound if you've already lubed everything else. So check that out.
That's why I'm like, I always try to like over lube the wire because that's the one that's the hardest to correct once it's in.
Mm-hmm.
Modern problems require
the actual sliders and all that kind of stuff, you can mess with that. Yeah. Modern problems require modern solutions. That is every single thing we've talked about is a modern problem, right? Like 2 years ago, we didn't have to deal with so many key sets that you couldn't buy them all. 2 years ago, you didn't have to deal with $1,500 flip board prices. 2 years ago, you didn't have to worry about the modern M0110. It was all hope and sunshine and rainbows buying into the group buy. And now 2 years later, everything's different.
Yeah, true. And according to Dixie, modern problems require modern Dolch too, which you can pick up at mexondeck.dixiemac.com.
The only modern thing that doesn't have modern problems right now, modern Dolch, that I can think of in my life.
True. But everyone, we've only got a couple submissions for keyboard of the week. Go ahead and get on the Discord, throw a picture up. You can get yourself as the banner for the channel for the week, and you get a special keyboard of the week or keyboarder of the week role, which is pretty sweet. So it'll be up there.
I am going to intentionally abstain. I will not submit. I feel like it's too much of a literal flex, and I'm also on the stream, so it doesn't seem appropriate.
You probably would have won, but that's a little bit of bias because I love my Iron 165 so much. So.
It's a darn good board, friend.
It is.
It's a darn good one. My appetite is sated currently.
I mean, it's true. After like first getting the Bauer and then the iron, I'm like, I don't even know what I want to put money into at this point. Like,
Because you're like, why buy anything
like
else?
what is going to be better? Because like the boards are both so good in different ways too. Because like one has a palm plate, the other one has a brass plate. One's linear, one's like Zycos with the most tactility possible. So it's like, what do I do? Like,
I will build the only 60% I own with Zycos in honor of Chewart.
Mr. Chewart Little.
Yes, Chewart Little. I'm dropping things. I'm too fiddly. I must have had too much tea.
Too much tea? Man, you're supposed to be the coffee guy though.
Look. I drank 3 cups of cold brew today. And I thought, wow, 9 o'clock at night, maybe I shouldn't drink more coffee. So instead, I went with caffeinated tea for slightly less caffeine.
Slightly less, still going to keep you up till 3 a.m.
Nominal at best. Yeah, definitely.
I'll keep waking up. So this happened to me today. Woke up at like 9 a.m., which I was like, oh, this is acceptable for quarantine. And then I do things for like 3 hours, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to take a nap. And then I ended up taking a nap for like 4 hours. And I'm like,
oh, shit.
This isn't even a nap anymore. This is just splitting up my sleep.
You just straight up went to bed, dog. Like, ugh.
I woke up and it was like 6, and I'm like, oh, what did I do to myself?
Hex, I'm never not going to do stupid things, okay? So, yes, I shouldn't have had so much tea. Finishes tea. That's just how Jeff's brain works. I always, years ago, I thought to myself, as long as it ends with a good story or entertains in some way, I will always do that thing. I always do the most ridiculous possible thing. Have you been to jail as a woman? I have. All for the story, baby.
That's an interesting...
I didn't intend on getting arrested that night, but I definitely went out as a woman that night in full drag.
You know...
That's a story for another stream, though.
That just happened.
Yes. There are some people that know that story. We'll save it for another stream.
Maybe on one of the Langlandia's streams, which you can check him out and be sure to give him a follow. Twitch.tv
if you so wish.
Langlandia.
I typically stream on Saturdays, but this week I'll be streaming more because I need to patina all of the copper pieces for both of my irons. So all of the things for that came in. So I'm going to start with the PC weight, and I'll make that blue.
Interesting. So, that's, after we had SM keyboards on, I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, because he showed off that board that had the copper just bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need a TKL. I don't have one. You can get
so we've got
TKL. I can do the bottom in blue or green, and that would be sweet.
Yeah, I like the blue. So the resting place of my DMG will be this polycarb because DMG looks so damn good on polycarb. But I need to make this weight patinaed. So yeah, I need to make that pretty town. Not that it's not already fucking beautiful, but
that looks great though.
I'm very excited.
Wow.
So, also interesting fact: if you are looking to patina something, and the only thing you can find is lemon scented ammonia, because it actually is kind of hard to just find straight up ammonia. It will do the exact same regardless of the scent added to it. So,
just make sure in a ventilated area. Ventilated area is your friend, so you don't pass out.
Oh, did I just turn all of my volume down? I did. Are you still there? Can I hear you?
I'm here.
Okay.
I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I was just saying you have
to
do
it
make
on
sure.
Callan Ope so I can see Josh react. Okay. Yeah. Maybe.
Ooh. I was just saying make sure that you do all of your ammonia work in a ventilated area so you don't pass out.
Well, true, but if you're doing ammonia work, you need to trap it inside with the weight first. And then when you're done with ammonia work, then ventilate. So,
well, we've got some keyboards to judge. Some pictures
let's
going.
do this.
So, first up, we have this is Mr. Iwanize. I believe this is a TKC 1800, and it is. It's in pink with I believe that's just classic GMK white on black.
Yeah, I assume that it's the GMK and not the EPBT, or maybe it is because he's going for the key company.
Oh, it could be EPBT because of the window key.
EPBT because of the Windows key. There it is. Yep.
Looks great.
We got more pictures. Yeah, I think it looks great. I like the pink. I'm like standing pink right now. It is the color that I love.
I love that it's shiny, right? Like that's something you can't get on a lot of boards. That level of shine on the pink. I think that gives you a whole nother level of awesomeness there.
So, and I'll full disclosure here. I don't necessarily love this keyboard. I like the key company. I'm fine with the key company. I don't necessarily like this keyboard. It's a fine keyboard, especially for the price. It feels cheap to me, though. Like it was when the first time I picked one up, it was deceptively light. Like it's not a large enough board to be considered a travel board. It feels, sorry to be pejorative, cheap, but it looks great. I can't hate on the picture. So
I like the purple plate that's kind of peeking out as well.
But yes, grind. I know that it's a plastic case, but usually, even with plastic cases, there's some aspect of it that weighs it down. And the one that I lifted weighed, I would be shocked if you told me it was even 2 pounds for that big of a board.
Can't imagine it sounds all that great either.
I don't know. Do you think that it sounds nice?
It will weigh very little. Oh, yeah. Rick just built one, I think, in this exact color and says it does not.
It does not. Okay. well, moving onward, it's a wonderful, lovely color combo that you've done. I think it's great.
Yeah, it looks great. It's a lot on the outside, but under the hood, it may not be as impressive as you hope.
GMK Blush. I'm going to look at that while we're talking about the next one. What is GMK Blush?
Ooh. The next one, can't remember the name of this, but this is a Alice style board with Max Key lime on it. I think, Chewwy always says that lime in both Max Key and GMK are underrated sets. I can concur with that. It's SP SA lime. I'm sorry. I think SP SA lime is the one that had even more issues than Max Key. I still remember to this day my favorite clip from I think it's on Top Clack stream or it's on Man of Interest's stream, but it's of him with SA lime and he swipes his hand across the top and half the keys fall off. So that was another reason why SA kind of fell out of favor. But
yeah, I think this board looks great though. I don't know if I love the placement of Lola.
Is that what that artisan's name is? Because I always
think it's
see
Lola,
that.
Right? I think it's Lola.
I don't know. I have no
Anyways, maybe we can get an answer here in chat. I'm sure chat knows. Yeah, Lola is correct. Ha ha! I knew something. But
I always called it
especially with that
artisan.
case. With that case,
it looks great.
I think it looks awesome. Yeah, I can't hate on that.
Yeah, I like the pink cable that kind of like brings Lola back,
And I think that's all I'd like to say about that.
Yeah, I like it.
I think it's great.
Next up, we've got a KBD 75. Oh, wow. I don't know if I can show that. I'm going to have to go ahead and take that off.
Butts on butts on butts.
I don't know if I can actually show that spacebar.
Well, before we talk about I assume which is a heavy metal keyboard, we can at least say that made us feel things.
It did.
So good job on that KBD 75.
Mr. D Clutch 04, I know that's your first board. That's an awesome first board. That's an interesting spacebar. That's an interesting spacebar.
He built it for a friend. He needed his friend to not feel as lonely.
Yeah.
There, we'll go with that. I'm going to guess that this is one of the heavy metal keyboards. Maybe the Ortho 75 version? Is that a fair guess?
I don't know. The Ortho ones I have.
Yup.
I don't pay attention
Nailed
to.
it.
So
Wow.
got it. Kajita. I didn't. Yeah. Hey, they're not for me. I've tried them.
That's good to know that just because they're not for you, you hate on them.
I don't hate on
good
them.
to
I
you.
just
Good
don't.
to know. Oh, really?
I just don't pay attention to the group buys that happen for them.
No, I think this is good. I'm really interested to know how these sound.
Me too.
I don't know. It's again, to your point, it's not my flavor, but yeah, I don't know. It's not my jam, to be candid with you. The like seafoam blanks, I like a lot. I like that color a lot.
Gives me the Infinity Islander vibes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's obviously not that because that doesn't exist quite yet. But I do like the seafoam
PSP.
green blanks. Those are nice.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It's a good color. Oof. Okay, so we've got Ogre, my own design.
Interesting. So this, I'm assuming, is some sort of a prototype, I imagine.
And based on when it was posted, this is a prototype. So half plate gasket 60. It's like seamless. Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty
interesting. I'm gonna say, is that the Hebrew round 1 CRP? Is that the correct keycap set on that? Yes, Hebrew, and the little like ninja stars, I'll call them, I think tells me hammer works. Yes, good. Round 1 Hebrew. Very cool keycap set.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's unique. I like the sub-legends of other non-weeb legends.
I'm a huge fan of the Arabic sub-legends. I want to see more interesting sub-legends. Like Hebrew is very cool. I've even seen kind of more and more interesting ones out there. I would like a Sanskrit set that does not come with a swastika, if we can make that happen. I think that would be interesting. But you can purchase that set right now if you so chose. So I wish it would different, but anyways.
Yeah, no, I like this. This is
No, I think it's good. How did your prototype turn out? Are you happy with your prototype?
How are you enjoying it? It looks cool.
He is quite happy. That's cool.
Awesome.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Center mounted USB.
Good luck with purchase, or good luck with sale.
Good luck.
Excuse me. For sure. All right. Third build ever.
Oof.
Tofu. Acrylic case. KBD 67 V2 Miami Nights SA.
Looks good.
I have no hate on this.
Miami
and
Nights
I think
great.
it's I like the subtle choice to match the LEDs that are cycling. I assume they're cycling to the blue and pink of the set.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks great. I like the retro cord.
They are cycling. Mm-hmm.
Like the retro cable.
Good cable. Yep.
That
tight, long coil.
Yeah, it gets you like the retro vibes even with the desk mat as well. I think it all kind of plays into that kind of like 80s vibe. I do want to point out...
Yeah, that's one of the Apple desk mats that Novelty sold, right?
I think so.
I think. Mm-hmm.
But...
Sorry, I interrupted.
No, you're good. You're good. What is going on with that stepped caps? That is the strangest looking stepped caps I've seen him ever.
What a mold!
It's like half stepped, half regular. It's like slant caps.
Oh my god!
Not stepped caps, angled caps. So nothing against you.
All right, from now on,
Right.
it's not regular caps or stepped caps. It's slanted caps.
It's slanted caps.
Yeah,
It's
the
just
best
it's just
caps.
weird.
Ramped.
Ramped caps. It looks like a car windshield, but
Oh man,
no. I like the aesthetics of this. Of
it
how
is. It's like a little car. It's like a little
yeah.
Pinto station wagon or something. Like
They should have done that for Yugo.
Oh, missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity.
I can't wait for Yugo. I know it's going to be forever, but I can't wait. Can't wait. Okay.
But no, I like it. I think it looks good. It's simple. It's clean.
Ooh, solid on this next one.
Next up, is this has to be GMK Violet on Cream, right?
Yep.
It's like there's no way it's GTK.
I'm gonna guess that this is a Switch Couture case too, from
Yeah.
Peripheral.
Looks clean.
Looks like it. I mean, there's so many people that are doing good Alice cases now, though, and I did get it correct. Yay, man! I'm on fire today. Wow. It's good.
Yeah.
Right.
It's good. It's clean. It's simple. It's good.
Interesting choice of the 2 left spacebar. The 2U.
Agreed.
Instead of 225, or what is that? What is it when you do it the other way? The 3?
No,
I don't remember.
I always do. And everyone in all of the Alice style boards I've ever built, I've always done 2U.
Interesting.
I just feel like the longer, I guess it would be 3U.
Yeah, maybe.
Or
I haven't had an Alice board in about a year.
I think it'd be 3.25.
So I don't remember.
It feels way too long. You know?
You feel long.
Thank you.
Giggity.
I like the shishi though. Too. Nice little touch.
No, I think it goes well. I do enjoy little dragon.
Well, and the desk mat and the cable, he's kind of bringing the whole vibes together. Even though
it's very eternal without having eternal yet.
Yeah. Well, and the tech flex on the cable kind of gives you. It also gives the cable the like polycarb acrylic feel.
Yep.
So
I think it's solid.
Very
well
together.
Done.
Enjoy it.
I'm gonna guess some kind of Miami Nights or
Tokyo Nights.
Tokyo Nights. There it is. Tokyo Nights.
Kurkowski showing off his creams he just got. I know he's excited about those.
Mm-hmm.
Little Tofu 65 action. Solid board. Not crazy expensive.
And Gatoron making an appearance as well.
Hashtag value there.
Hashtag value.
But no.
Lots of good boards.
This is a nice board.
Yeah. I'm not going to beat it into the ground. It's a good board. We have flipped Spacebar Master Race next from Starstone with his GMK Nautilus.
The M60.
Yep.
M60 round 1, I believe. Looks great.
Yep.
Great picture. Nautilus.
And the desk mat flex. It's a great desk mat.
Agreed. I think this is it's a clean looking board. These boards have started to go for insane prices on the aftermarket, which not that they're bad, but I don't think they have any right to be going for $800 because there's a metric crapload of them out there. But hey, this board looks great. Nautilus is awesome. There's a reason why Nautilus 2 sold like over 1,000 kits as well. I'm surprised that this cap set is so clean still. I don't know when he took this picture, but this is a very clean looking cap set for being.
You say he takes care of his stuff. Where are you at?
All right.
Are we up next now?
We're up next. We've got Mr. Allhex's. I don't exactly know which TKL this is.
That is a salamander. You can tell by the HHHH.
The HHHH. And I'm assuming the PBT plate. It looks like the PBT plate.
With peacock on it. Now, my question is that round 2.2, that just came in, or is that round 1? I guess I don't know the differences in rounds. Oh, BSP. Okay. BSP. Got it.
Interesting.
Oh, because you can tell the cherries instead of the little stars. Got it. That all makes sense. That all tracks. I love a good PC salamander.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Salamander is a good board. I know Imi or you doesn't really like his that much, but it's still a great board. Like that's one
But
of my
Josh
favorite
also
boards.
is spoiled with exceptionally excellent boards. So
True.
like for it to be pretty good for him is all right. That's a damn good board then. So
True. Very
putting
true.
Josh on blast. Interesting choice on the cable. Like good, like complete action there with the clear cable as well.
I love
I
how
think is-
everyone's like theming it out, even to
Yeah, like really, they're like. And now my question is, now my brain immediately goes, is this how they daily drive it, or are they stepping up their game for keyboard of the week?
I mean, either way.
One would wonder. Oh man, now we've got too many boards. I'm gonna put a stamp because it's gonna be.
Yeah.
We're gonna be here a while if we don't do that.
We're so this next one, I'm not gonna let this be an actual option
because
to win,
fucking Rick.
because it not only this is not even Rick's board. This is actually Chewwy's Baka.
Fucking Rick.
This is Baka 60 with GMK Mizu. Rick's just trying to flex his photo taking abilities on everyone,
Which he will teach me how someday. So
yeah. Super.
he
crisp.
doesn't know it, but
Great photo. I'm gonna reiterate
Mhm.
what someone else said in the chat when he put his key cult card photos in. Looks like it was shot at like f.05 because there's literally just the waves are in and the shift are in focus and everything else is out of focus. But
God.
It's a great picture.
Ooh, Scott Dubs got some interesting love going on there with this next one is a good
Ooh.
one. You guys will like this.
Is that the Matrix?
We've got Noah. Yep. Noah with MT3 Serica.
Man,
The grays go really well together.
they do.
I like that.
It looks great.
Just the keycaps are just lighter enough to give you a good split. But the light caps make the legend look the same color, even if they're not. So that's good too. Yeah.
This makes me hate the gray
It's a good board.
on Serica, MT3 Serica less. Because
Yeah.
it does look very awkward a lot of times, in my opinion. So, but
I agree.
MT3 is a set that's a profile that I was hoping I would enjoy, but I don't. But I do love
really
the way
like it. I do really like it, actually.
Really?
So, yeah, I do. I feel that.
Yeah, I wanted
when I-
to, but man.
Fucking next one. The next one, dude.
Oh yeah,
This
the
is
next
so
one I saw.
stupid.
This. I heard
So
about this
stupid.
earlier. This
The
is
big
Ionized.
milk. You got big milk.
Big Milk. This is if you're unfamiliar, the Milk 2% ran a couple months ago, and I guess they ran the gallon. The
And
gallon
then
size
Ella-
milk.
Television coming in with the tiny one. Also, the flex on the caps, though. We've
Oh,
got
yeah.
a Jam Jams and a Bongo.
Jam Jams and Bongo Cat.
Look at that. The lime. Good one.
That's the whole milk. Okay, yeah, that's the whole milk.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah, this looks great.
Mm-hmm.
More of the artisans look great. The 2% is kind of, just 3D printed, but I love those caps. Jam Jams.
Jam Jam's so
are my
cute.
Jams.
I can't wait. Apparently, our friends over at Sodi Caps plan to very soon do their run of cafe artisans,
Really? I'm gonna have
which
to-
I'm very excited about. They got busy. They were going to do it earlier, but they're going to do it. So Okay, so we've got Polaris PC half plate, MX Xylence with the EPBT blue blanks, and then the blue Avo blank.
It's clean.
This looks nice, man.
It's clean.
This looks great. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like
And this stepped caps actually it is stepped instead of
stepped.
ramped.
It's more like a Jeep instead of like a sedan. In terms of the
I will never not be able to see a little car now on my fucking caps lock thanks to you. My perception of what it looks like is now always different.
You're welcome.
Fuck.
But no, I think this looks great. This looks great. Very simple, but very clean.
Yeah,
yeah.
Win keyless, correct. Split backspace, split right shift, stepped caps. I mean, we could have a conversation about your cable game. Yeah. I mean, obviously it works, but
and your spacebar.
This looks great. This looks great. Yeah, you could flip it, but this looks great.
It does look
well
great.
done.
It does look great.
Want to buy 2U car artisans? Why 2U? It's caps lock is 175. Where are we going to put a 2U? Except for on your terrible long backspace or your long zero.
True.
Okay. Thank you. All right. I just want to make sure. Yes, 175 artisans that are little cars. I'm gonna hit up Andy right now. I'm gonna talk to Andy right now.
That'd be awesome.
With CYO.
That would be awesome. All right. Next up, we've got Deeds. I'm gonna show the second picture because I prefer the second picture. I'll show both. This is the Rocketeer set board that was on drop. I believe you could probably still get it. This board is a really cool looking board. I don't think it necessarily established, from what I saw, it didn't necessarily establish the theming quite correctly. I know some people were pretty upset because they had the old typewriter that it's based off of and it wasn't the same color. But it did come with these SA caps that match it, which I think it looks great. It is a tray mount board, nothing crazy there. Brass plate, I believe that's peeking through.
Yeah, for as far as I understand it, for the money, it is a solid board.
Yeah. They weren't that expensive.
I've never used one. No, they're not terribly expensive, which is good because you can get a pretty sweet looking board for, well, let's find out. I'm going to go look.
Brass plate, but needs a lot of work to sound good. That's the other thing I've heard is that it didn't sound very good.
I did hear that, yes.
And then I heard they had some issues with USB ports.
Oh. Well, I mean, it seems like it's a thing that they like to keep in stock a lot. So, you know,
I mean,
I hope that there can be some slight alterations to make her work.
It's a cool option, you know. You get everything. You get caps, switches, the board, the whole nine. So I like it. It's a cool little board, but it's not anything crazy.
Oh, so their other round just shipped. So it said estimated ship date was May 15th. So he may have just gotten this.
So this one might not have the same issues that some of the other ones had.
Yeah. And actually, now that you bring up the Rocketeer typewriter comparison, the colors are
not even
wildly different. Wildly different. Like, it is something else.
Yeah, I remember because I was actually looking at getting one at one point, and I saw the side by side, and I was like, "Wow, that is not even close."
They have it as one of the promo picks. Is there side by side?
Oh, really? Because it wasn't on there for a while. When they ran it initially, it wasn't. They were like, "Yeah, it's going to match," and then it didn't.
That link, though.
Look at it.
Oof.
Oh yeah.
It's one of their promo picks.
Those are not the same. But with that being said, we got to pick two options.
That was our last one.
And then we let chat vote. Tio's is Life. I haven't been there in forever. There's not one around here. Lang is a cutie. Changed my mind.
Nathan, Alpha Man, you're
don't
a
have
cutie.
to.
I love you.
All right. Let me look here. Get us back to big.
Mm-hmm.
Try to see which one I want to pick as my.
I have chosen.
Chosen.
Ooh, is there now betting? I bet that you could have prop bets on who likes them the most. Right?
Just make like our own like market. People bet channel points.
Oh man. I know which one I like the most.
Okay.
I have decided.
I have decided for me as well. So mine is
If you had to guess, which would you think my favorite is?
like seriously, because jokingly, I
like
think it's going to
for
be the whole
real.
milk.
Well, the whole milk obviously is the best one here, but we can't actually vote that. Okay, so
For real, I think
for
it's
realsies.
For me, it's a toss up. Probably either the Noah, the Matrix Noah, or the Salamander.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
What do you?
I'm actually really feeling Dank's SA Lime Alice.
Really? Okay.
I think that's my choice.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. And then
I like that one.
for me, what do you?
And a very close second would be the Ogre for me.
The Ogre.
I think.
Okay.
Interesting keycap set, prototypes, something special. We've got, a very well used desk mat, which I'm like, real life I'm all about it. And then, we've got some interesting cable connectors there, some not inexpensive ones. So.
Okay.
And if I had to guess which one you like, Eric, which one you're gonna pick, I bet you're gonna pick the Noah because it changed your perception of the gray of that MT3 Serica. That's my guess.
I thought about that, but it's not.
Okay.
I actually picked the Violet on Cream Alice.
Ooh, Alice. That was honestly my second guess.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Picked.
Yeah, that's the
Shishi's good. The VOC is good. We both picked Alice boards.
We
God,
did.
no wonder. Fuck. They're so. All right. Is it time to do a poll? Is that what we do now?
It is, but I'm doing it on straw poll because
the stream one doesn't work.
Because the stream one, so I'm actually not logged into our Twitch account. Logged into my personal one, and I can't run a poll without being logged in. And I don't have the option to do it through here, so I'm going to do it through straw poll. So let me get it all together. What DD Decline? What's the name of that board?
Yeah.
What's the name of that board?
Dank DD Decline.
Kakua.
The Kokua.
And then 5 monitors when I do Gravies.
For being limited to 25 units, that's a solid price on that board, man. It's only $400 bucks.
Really?
Can't be mad about that. Yeah. Ain't bad.
All right. Sorry about that. There is the straw poll. You can head on over there and vote. We can see which one wins. Opinion.
Ooh, so we got a question. Yeah.
And the Think 6.5 V2. I think the Think 6.5 V1 did extremely well. And I think a lot of people really enjoy that board. So I can't imagine that the V2 won't be the exact same situation, if not better, because now they have the opportunity to fix any issues that they had or anything they weren't happy with, they can change in V2 and make it exactly what they want.
So I really started to go down the rabbit hole with Think 6.5 V1, and I made a lot of friends in that group buy. And then Brass PVD became a thing, and I never got a board. So any whoozleby, I trust Potter and their studio will do very well. I have very strong opinions about Old Cat after the Think 6.5 round 1. And then delays and things, and basically ghosting everyone for a long time was pretty shitty. I think that you're going to get a damn good board if you buy it. I personally dislike the change of the logo and the option to move the placement and kind of all that stuff. I don't love. I likely won't purchase this board. I also, like, a pet peeve of mine is the actual USB port area to have that like gear thing. I think it looks dumb personally.
Yeah.
But
I think
that said, I think it will be a damn good board. And I don't think you're going to be mad that you bought it. It's just there's a lot going on. Right.
It is
so
a lot of options too.
Yeah, and I know that like different. Yeah, and this is kind of a theme with Gray Studio is options, and every time they run a group buy and there's a ton of options, what is it that delays the group buy is the number of options, how long it takes to pack them up, how many pieces of one random option C needed B stock, so we have to make more, and that delays all of these orders, and because he's doing that, he can't ship out these, and it's like simplification is not something that they are looking to ever do, as far as I can tell, and if you buy in, expect to wait. But Potter will take care of you. You will get updates from someone, maybe not Old Cat, but someone will update you. And I don't think you'll be upset if you buy it. So you asked for my opinion on it. That's my opinion.
Yeah. And I get they're only going to run like 4 colors, and they did that last time.
4 different top mount, bottom mount styles, and different badge placements and different badges. So now you've gone from 4 colors with 4 different case styles with 2 different badge placements, and you multiply the complexity over and over and over and over again. And that's not even talking, they're probably offering different plate layouts too. So it's like, and maybe they're all like one universal, which it's too much.
Yeah, it'll be a good board, but they should do
Langelandia. Hell yeah, that should be the new one. Langelandia. That's going to be a segment on my streams. Langelandia. There we go.
They should definitely condense down the offerings. Like if they offered the different options, like in one, like this color is only in this offering. This color is only in this offering. It might upset some people, but it's just going to make it easier on the back end because there's got to be so much they have to deal with. So much. But yeah, so if you weren't aware, we are doing our Keyboard of the Week segment, and these are our 2 finalists. Little SA Lime, both Alice style boards. Kokua, I believe, is the name of how you say this. This is the
getting some votes
Alice.
going.
Get your votes on. I'll put the straw poll in there one more time. Leave it up for just another minute or so.
Hashtag vote.
Does the PC one have flatter bottom edge? It does. I believe so.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now you're complicating with different materials too, right? So last time was you had a few all brass units that took a billion years to deliver, and you also had aluminum. Now you've got aluminum, you've got an all brass raffle, and you have polycarbonate.
Well, didn't they have black polycarb on the first one?
They did have black polycarb last time. Yeah. So it's at least they're not doing that again, which apparently it feels like a marital aid. I've never had the black polycarbonate in person, but apparently that's its affectionate name is sex toy plastic. So
okay. All right.
Yeah, the black polycarb was a big thing. I was a part of all that like conversation for a very long time with them about it. And I believe, yeah, it's not a joke.
I have it right here in front of me.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It does. It feels like it, doesn't it, Stash?
Feels like sex toy. Interesting.
Oh, good days.
Designed by Gray Studio, brought to you by Adam and Eve.
Brought to you by Adam and Eve.
Oh, man.
Well, it looks like I lose today. Congratulations.
You know, I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit. This one was closer than the last couple, but I am perfect on Keyboard of the Week.
That is a true statement. You are perfect? You are? Really?
Yeah. I've gotten my selections the last 3 weeks have been correct. Or not correct, but have been the winner of Keyboard of the Week. So congratulations.
Well, send me your address again because I lost it, and I'll send you some gold stars. So,
oh, I'm good.
It's me being facetious about your stellar winning streak. Spicy Landia, that's what that is. Boom!
Osiris is in touch with the community's taste. You know, maybe. But
smiley face stickers that smell like rays of sunshine.
This is our winner. Congratulations to Mr. Gravy. I don't know, Gravy on Mayo. That's name in chat.
Count it.
Hot Take Osiris has basic taste.
Such a good name.
Basic
Gravy on Mayo.
taste. Thanks, Rick. Thanks for the bit and the other 2 bits you donated.
Yep, he's been donating bits at a time like a good boy.
But no, this is our winner for Keyboard of the Week. This will be our banner for the next week, and you will get your role here in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Other than that, I think that's going to kind of...
Sponsor time?
Bit a day
To
keeps the
recount the
doctor away.
sponsors?
We were going right back there. Rick, thank you for the 4th bit. 1 bit a day keeps the doctor away, you know? True.
Hot take, Osiris has basic taste. Let's read the bit message. Hot take, Osiris has basic taste.
True. Sure. Maybe I just like purple. Come on. Background's purple. My first set.
No, it's well themed. It's well themed. It looked nice. No one's mad.
The first 2 sets I bought were SA, purple and white,
Hot Take. Lang is hot.
and JTK, purple and white. Also, I agree with you, Rick. Thank you for the bit. Hot take, Lang is hot. But I do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Thank you to switchmod.net/mechsondeck. Head on over there, get 4% off everything that's in stock. They are doing a couple more runs of lube and then it'll be done. But he does have some other stuff going on. I know he's got the slip line. He put some info.
Is he stopping lube?
He is stopping lube, but
Wow.
But he's going to be doing more. So he's got more sets, more boards. He's doing the H87 group buy or pre-order as well. Then you can check out Dixie Mech. You can go to mechsondeck.dixiemech.com, pick up GMK Modern Dolch 2 till the end of the month. It's a hot looking set. It's flying off the shelves. So go ahead on over there, pick that up. You don't want to miss out. Project Keyboard, go to mechsondeck.project.link, pick up the Elongate. I always feel like it should be called Elongate.
Well, yeah, but that wouldn't even be Portuguese. That would just be us. Yeah.
That would just be like Americanized. But that is running on Thursday. So go ahead and pick that up, as well as check out GMK Sumi, July 15th. And then canonkeys.com/mechsondeck is running Cat Explosion all month long. So go ahead and check that out as well.
If you had to assign masculine or feminine to the Elongate, which would you choose?
Feminine.
It would be alongada then.
Elongada.
Which would be Portuguese for elongate. Anyways.
Hey, you know, I do want to give another quick shout out to our partners, Zap Cables. Go to zapcables.com and pick up some of the best cables in the community. as well as Type Beast just released their newest newsletter, which was a fantastic read. So head on over to typebia.st. And then last but not least, Smith and Rune. Go to smithrune.com. Check out the Iron 180. Extras from the Iron 165 are going up soon. You don't have to pay $1,300. You could probably get one on smithrune.com or canonkeys.com/mexondeck for significantly less. But with that being said, thank you to Mr. Langlandia. Appreciate it. For the last minute stepping in for Chewwy while he is ill.
Got you.
And
Got you.
be sure to give Mr. Langlandia a follow.
You don't have to if you don't want to. I do stuff sometimes. But thanks for having me on. Thanks for interacting with me, chat. Who on Monday shall we raid?
Yeah, who should we look for? I know we've been going through. Let me see.
Okay, hold on. We've got because you've been trying to not do that thing where we do just keyboard people.
Right.
So how about, let's see here. Let's do this. Oh, that was a good guess. Let's go to this individual here. I'm going to type it to you in the thing with the stuff and the people.
Okay.
Let's try that.
I like that name.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out.
Doing some art, doing some bebop artwork. And as a instead of his face has a cam of his cat. So
I am down for this.
Yeah.
I'm down for this. I always like the artsy people as far as hosting them. They do cool stuff, and I don't think the art section, just like the makers and crafting section, gets enough love here on
Only
Twitch.
8,000 people viewing that section right now, which is, a fraction of anyone else. So it's pretty cool.
So we are going to raid Mr. Batsky Starman is his name.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops. An anonymous gifter. Thank you for gifting a sub to Zerkowski.
Wow.
Appreciate it.
Congrats on the sub, Zerks.
Congratulations.
Show us your keyboard, remember, friends?
Yeah, type show. Oh, we got to do it like Chewwy, so we got to do it in all caps. Show us your keyboard.
Show us your keyboard.
So,
boom.
Thank you again, Mr. Langlandia, for joining me tonight on the last second notice. Appreciate that. And then tomorrow, I'm not sure if we're going to have a build stream tomorrow. You can stop waving. I'm not sure if we're going to have a build stream tomorrow, but we might. Chewwy will be building if we do. We'll keep you posted. Stay tuned to our Discord. But Wednesday, we will be back. Can't remember who is this week. I'm awful. Lividity caps. I'm actually really excited to talk about some shoes, talk about some caps, talk about what he does. It's going to be fun. So come check us out tomorrow and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central. With that being said, y'all have a fantastic night, and spam show us your keyboard to Mr. Batsky Starman. Bye now.